Welcome back to Critical Corner, unfiltered commentary, not your truth, the real truth. And as always, thank you for your support. Hi folks, welcome back. From the Daily Wire, this is a big deal. This episode might be a little bit longer, but I think it's worth looking at. These people are crazy. Exclusive. Fairfax County suspends kids. Call police as system defies Virginia governor en masse. Security guard stymied after he couldn't see because his mask caused his glasses to fog up. And there you see some kids being turned away from school. Fairfax County, Virginia. Now, my daughter lives in Virginia, but she lives in Virginia Beach, my granddaughter. She's not in school yet. She will be in 2 years. Fairfax County Public Schools made a show of defying Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin's order that schools respect parental rights on masking on Tuesday, with an assistant principal standing in front of the schools to suspend students without masks. And public relations staffer who said the media was not allowed to watch the conflict between state and local governments play out. These people are crazy. Do you know why they're crazy? Do you know why they're doing this crazy stuff? Because they know they're losing. They know they're losing. At one classroom exterior door, a teacher in a dark mask and a full-face plastic shield resembled Darth Vader, my favorite Star Wars character, as she peered through the glass, and after seeing a masked child out front, opened the door a crack to let him in. Providing muscle was a large security guard who inadvertently illustrated parents' concerns by removing his mask to lecture a parent because I can't speak with this thing. Yeah, you can't speak with this thing. It's amazing to me. It truly is. At another point, the security guard lashed out at a former school board member after his own mask caused his glasses to fog up to the point where he could not see who he was talking to. These are people that are making huge amounts of money directly off the taxpayers, in this case, mostly property owners in Virginia. Parent Carrie Lucas walked through two children to the front of the Forestville Elementary, their faces visible, smiling faces visible on school grounds for the first time in 2 years. They're probably all excited to go back to school to see their friends. She did not make it to the door before she was confronted by an assistant principal who said the children would not be allowed in the school. Security guard Christian Fuller followed us as they retreated to the car. This is the security guard. Where do they find these people? And they make really good money, too. A Fairfax County media liaison demanded that a Daily Wire reporter leave as he wrote down the polite words exchanged between Lucas and the assistant principal, saying the journalist must go to what she deemed as a media staging area in a residential neighborhood about 50 yards away. There was no other media present. Of course. Of course. This is why I'm a member of the Daily Wire. I'm proud to contribute to things like this, to help expose this stuff. Fuller then called the police, saying they would arrest a reporter for being in the school parking lot. Former school board member Tom Wilson, a Republican, intervened to express First Amendment concerns, saying, "We'll see," to which Fuller replied, "Are you threatening me?" Two undercover police cars and one marked patrol car soon arrived at the scene, where they were met by the media liaison and Fuller. By then, Lucas and her newly delinquent kids were at a neighborhood diner for chocolate pancakes and a lesson on civics. Probably learn more from that than they would all day in this effed up school. The invocation of harsh punishment seemed to fly in the face of years of claims by the school board and local Democratic politicians. The school board has frequently lamented that students should not be present for less than egregious offenses, calling it racist and saying it leads to the school-to-prison pipeline. It's amazing to me The pipeline idea posits that otherwise good kids will become so disenfranchised after being suspended they could cause them to turn to a life of crime later. Well, we got to get a sound effect for that. Yeah, give me a break. Board members Karen Keys Gamara and Rachel Sizemore Heiser, who have frequently lamented excess suspensions and to school prison pipelines, did not return a request for comment. Well, what a shocker. And how the suspension of students for not wearing masks fits with that view. It doesn't. It's about power and control. And why are they still pushing this? Why are they still pushing this? If it's not about power and control, then what it really is really about. Let's tell the truth here. And I have to be careful because I'm on parole on YouTube for 90 days till the middle of April because I received a strike giving out misinformation. All I did was report on a Project Veritas article. So I have to walk a fine line here. I'm just reporting what happened. Meanwhile, many minor crimes, including trespassing, are now prosecuted by Fairfax Commonwealth's attorney Stephen Toscano, who views criminalizing people for such offenses as an affront to social justice. You can protest all you want to, but you protest for your own kid, you're a criminal. FCPS allows 7th and 12th graders to skip school to participate in activism, a policy that critics said seemed to be aimed at pushing children to be liberal activists only. But mask advocacy was not greeted so warmly. You mean they have a double standard? Huh. What a shocker. What a shocker. And I'm sure the police could care less. The county sheriff, the local police. They're probably so fed up with this BS that I found it unfortunate that FCPS decided to treat us as though we were going to be violent criminals or something and had a security guard and press person and really were trying to make it as uncomfortable as possible for us to exercise what I view as the First Amendment rights to come and have this polite exchange with our children's schools. You think about the waste and everything that's FCPS should be doing with these dollars, all of the problems and needs we hear about consistently. They're hiring press teams. They're filing lawsuits. Why do they care about our kids? Why aren't they prioritizing educating our kids? They see this obviously as a political showdown. Well, I got to give a round of applause for that. That is a political showdown. They're dug in and they aren't putting kids first. They obviously have other priorities. This is about politics, not science. And again, I have to say, because I'm on parole on YouTube, whatever you feel is proper for yourself and your children, please consult a physician and do what you think is best after consulting your physician. I heard from a lot of parents who share my sentiments, who believe that masks are harmful to kids, who obviously recognize that these paper masks and cloth masks are obviously doing nothing but making it harder to breathe, harder to communicate, harder for them to learn. But they didn't want to speak out. They didn't want to take this stand because they were afraid of blowback. FCPS is suing the governor saying, with COVID-19 transmission rates high, are hospitals at crisis level? Well, that's not really true. Considering a third, I know here in upstate New York, my mother was in the hospital, and they said a third of the rooms were empty because they were firing the personnel that work at the hospital. So they say they were overflowing. Technically, they were right, but a third of the hospital was empty. Who's zooming who? I really don't know. And a continued recommendation of health experts to retain universal mask wearing for the time being, this is simply not the time to remove this critical component of layered health and safety mitigation strategies. How would a school district person know, really and truly, what's best? Medically? Doubt it. I used to say to the school nurse when I was in high school, that's because you were a mid-school dropout doesn't mean you can tell us what to do, and she got mad and threw me out. Lucas, who works with the Independent Women's Network, mocked that logic. Our layered strategy is working so well that we have the biggest surge of infections now, Independent Women's Network. I love that. FCPS was closed for a teacher workday on Monday, meaning Tuesday was the first day of the mass showdown. In Loudoun County, remember Loudoun County, that fiasco. Loudoun County on Monday, parents said students have been trained to wear masks nonstop by teachers who bully them and express fear. A parent said one child has become reluctant to take off his mask, saying, "I wouldn't want anyone to see my expression." Think about that for a minute. He didn't say how young the kid was. That's really pitiful. Most Loudoun students interviewed by the Daily Wire on Monday say they disagree with the mask mandate but will comply anyway for fear of punishment from teachers. This is a great lesson for these students. I hope they watch and learn about overreach of power and authority in government. I'm not pro-mask. I'm not anti-mask. I'm not pro-vaccine. I'm not anti-vaccine. I have to say these things because I'm on parole on YouTube. Loudoun students who are not masked were moved to a separate room where one parent said they were not allowed to speak all day. It sounds like segregation to me. It's funny they didn't have the color breakdown. That would have been interesting. Clint Thomas wrote to Loudoun Superintendent Scott Ziegler on Tuesday to say, "We have just learned our girls and other maskless students in confinement are now being denied the ability to get water. We're told that an administrator is now guarding the door to the auxiliary gym in case anyone else tries to leave. Is this now a prison or a school building?" Unbelievable. But it's not. It's not. These people are backed against the wall. And I mean the progressive leftists are back against the wall. They are losing. And they are losing big. Like any powerful wounded animal, they're lashing out. They know they've lost. The smart ones anyway. So we'll see how this goes. Like I said, I am not pro or against anything. I cannot express my opinion on the matter because I'm on parole on YouTube. But you can decide for yourself. Fairfield schools suspend kids. Call police as system defies Virginia governor en masse. And there it is, folks. Same thing is going on here in New York. I live in upstate New York. Mandatory masks for schools, even though a New York State Supreme Court judge ruled the governor did not have the authority to make masks mandatory. We're going to have to see how this works out. Unfortunately, the judicial wheels move slowly. We'll see if we can grease them up a little bit and make them move a little faster to come to a conclusion one way or another. But in the end, the one that loses the most, the ones that lose the most are the kids. Maybe this is a good civics lesson for them, like that lady said. Things that make you want to sigh. Anyway, folks, until next time, goodbye and good luck.